Hi, this is Simon Chan, and welcome to my network marketing training. Members of my coaching mastermind groups can ask me questions on a weekly basis. And today's question comes from Michelle out of Melbourne, who asks, Hey Simon, I remember in one of your training videos you mentioned about the 80-20 rule when you talk to the prospect. Actually, I just found out I always talk a lot but listen too little. Do you have any suggestions about how to listen carefully and talk at the right time? Also, I find out I lack of the thinking habit, which makes me stick to my rank for a long time, or what you want to talk about for a long time. Okay, Michelle, you have to elaborate for the last sentence. I'm not really sure what you're asking about, but in terms of asking questions, right? Here's the thing. It's a mental thing. Don't think about when you go in, you find yourself talking a lot, right? And also, think about that other person. Focus your attention on that person. And if you focus your attention on that person, you should be listening and want to get to know the person better, right? So one way to do this is to get the person talking, right? So one way is just imagine if you were not going to present. You have nothing about, you were not doing network marketing, nothing. How would that conversation go? You know, normally you would probably not be as nervous. You know, normally when people say, I'm nervous, I think, hey, just imagine you meeting the person, you're not talking about network marketing. What would happen? You're probably not going to be nervous, right? Because you're thinking about the person. You're not going to think, oh, when do I start talking about this business? When do I start presenting? Stop thinking about that and make the conversation natural. Imagine you're going there, you're not going to talk about a business at all. Just focus on that person, okay? And the second thing is, like Howard, I think, a great post there. You always ask open-ended questions, right? So, for example, one of the things how did it go? Can you tell me more about it? Wow, wow. I mean, you must like that job. How did the job go today? How did your job interview go? So you ask open-ended questions of how, why, what, to genuine care. Remember, imagine you had nothing about the business. You're not doing the business. What would you do? That's the major mindset shift. Don't think about, oh, I'm going to do the percentage. Let it come natural, right? Just imagine you didn't even do network marketing. How would the conversation go? What would you talk about, right? And when you focus on the other person, then then it becomes so much easier. And again, open-ended questions. Communication is like the one who controls the conversation is the one who asks the questions, right? So if I ask a question, Michelle, like you have to answer back. Then I ask another question, right? And you have to answer back. So right now, Michelle, if I ask you a question, hey, what are you studying in school, right? How long have you been living in Melbourne? You keep asking me, you keep replying. I'm controlling the conversation. You see that? Even right now, if I ask you, Michelle, what did you like best about the training so far? You have to reply back to me. It's like I'm controlling it, right? So as long as I ask a question, I'm controlling it. And I can guide where the conversation goes. So later on, and I'm talking about once you get to know the person, you can shift that business conversation towards the business by asking questions. So for example, have you found a job after college? What do you plan to do after school? What do you plan to do after university? Right? When you start asking career or business or financial questions, you can guide that conversation to an opportunity for you to start presenting the business. But in general, let the person talk first. And we talked about the lunch. If you're meeting for lunch, right? You should finish eating before they finish eating. Let them talk. Now, a couple things to talk about, right? Things you can talk about. A good thing is people talk about form, F-O-R-M, form, right? Family, F stands for family. O stands for occupation. R stands for recreation. And M stands for money. So family, what's going on in your family? How's your sister doing? How's your brother doing? Occupation, like if you're in school, hey, what's going on in your classes? What's the toughest class you got? What's your schedule like? Let them talk. And what do you like about, what are you looking forward to next semester? Or recreation. What did you do last weekend? What did you do? How was the party? What would you like to do for fun? How's the football game? Football match? How's the basketball game? And the M, money. Are you working on the side right now? Are you doing any part-time income to support school? And what are you doing what are you working right now? How's your job? So those are questions. Just think about F-O-R-M, form. Questions you can ask. But in general, it goes back to the basics. Just think about if you were not in the business, how would that conversation go? Be natural. The more natural it is, the better it is. Okay, so that's apply that. See how it works this week, and let me know how it goes. And then I want to see some improvement, but really focus. Imagine you were not doing the business at all. How would that conversation go? So start getting used to that habit of, hey, I'm not even in the business. Let me just talk to the person as a person, not as a quote unquote a prospect, right? And people actually will respect you more because you genuinely care about them. You're not thinking about yourself. If you're thinking about yourself or what you got to do, that's the number one rule about prospecting. No hype selling is you got to genuinely really care to help the other person. If you're not, if you're thinking about what you got to say, number one, you're not caring, and number two, you're gonna be nervous because your mind, you're not listening. You're not gonna be listening because you're thinking, oh, when do I say this? What happens? How do I slide this in? You're thinking about yourself. You're already not listening, right? It's the wrong direction. Your mind is going here instead of going out there. All right, Michelle, hopefully that's helpful. Take a listen to it. Let me know how it goes, and I look forward to your prospecting skills getting better. Let me know. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching my network marketing training. This is Simon Chan. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.